Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
This is a golden opportunity to hear about what Ted Shiskin is doing now. We remember, I hope you remember, when we featured his book called Golden Treasures. That was in September. I guess it was last year, September. Golden Treasures, a collection short stories. And Ted is a former architect, and he now has multiple sclerosis, so it's kind of held him down somewhat. But as they say, you can't hold a good man down. So tell me what you're doing now, Ted.
Well, I'm trying to get my next book all edited and trying to get someone to help me get it printed by somewhere, and I'm probably going to go back to the book batch, which printed it before.
Right.
But I'm not quite finished. And my daughter did the whole thing, printing it. And what happened was I wrote it in Microsoft Works, and then I had to put it into Word, into a PDF, and that messed everything up.
Oh, my.
It was weird. So she had to go through the 20 stories herself and go through all that for almost a week. And she can't do that. She's back in school now, teaching. And so I hope that I can find someone, and maybe I can have more knowledge about it now, and maybe I can go ahead and do it myself with some help.
Well, a student would be perfect, wouldn't it? Someone who knows how to do that and would dedicate their time.
Well, that's what I'm kind of hoping. We have a friend who's in college, and he is in computer science. So I think maybe that he might be the one that can help me. I don't know.
Well, tell me how, did you ever sell any of the paintings?
No, I haven't. Didn't hear anything from anybody with those two that were featured on your website. Not a thing.
Well, it's hard to sell paintings. You know that. You can go to all these art fairs, and people sit there. They have beautiful paintings, and people walk by, and they don't buy them. So it's kind of like books in a way. It's really the person who's the artist who writes the book, paints the painting, and maybe that's the important part, that it's out there now, that never was before. What do you think?
Well, that's true, too. I have a very good artist friend in Jupiter. And she's a famous Florida artist. And she says she doesn't do that well on the Internet either. She does most of her work by being known and through commissions. And there are 2 or 3 different artist shows annually that she's asked to come to. And so she does real well. She was, her name is Bryce, Jackie Bryce. If anybody really likes to look at good art, look up her website. I'll give her a little bonus.
Yeah, that's good. Well, tell me about your Golden Treasures, a collection of short stories. What has happened with that? Because it was a wonderful book. There's such interesting stories. Have you sold? You sold quite a few of them. Yeah,
I'm up to about 110, which doesn't sound like much, but it's nobody knows me, and But I think I'm going to try to do something which the publisher suggested for me to give them some money, and they'll start featuring it, and that way it'll be more prominent. This publisher sends out stuff by email to all their customers and the email listings. So that way I might get featured just a little bit, and that might help. But about a month ago, I was checking on my sales, and lo and behold, in July, I had made 10 sales from Miami. I have no reason why.
I wonder if it was from our
Well,
I wonder if it was from our book review at the expo.
Well, maybe.
Because that was July.
That's right. You're right. I didn't think about that. Well, thank you.
Well, whatever. Listen, I want so much for you to do well because you have such great spirit. Here you're working against, not being able to function the way you always wanted to function, and yet nothing has stopped you. I was very impressed when I saw that you use this dragon. Explain to people what that is again, please.
Dragon Naturally Speaking Systems. It's produced by a company called Nuance, and I have speakers on, or headphones, and I have a microphone, and I speak the words, and it types for me. And if I get careless, it'll put down the wrong word. And then sometimes when I'm on it, my wife or my aide will come up behind me. Ted, what do you want for supper? So I forget I'm on the microphone.
Right.
And I'm typing out my menu for supper.
Oh, I love it.
And I have found that I haven't been careful a few times, and I've gone back. Well, before I let my stories out, I edit them 9 to 10 times.
Really?
That's the only way you can try to. And then I found out, whoops, there's one of those menus in one of my paragraphs.
Huh.
So that's kind of crazy.
Right. Well, so when you're using this and you said that they're wrong words, do you have to go back yourself and do you retalk it, or how do you do that?
Well, I just delete it and then talk back what I wanted to say.
And how are you deleting it?
Just with the computer, with backwards.
I see.
On the keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, like AN, and AND.
Right.
And I very seldom say and.
Right.
So it prints and. And then other words that it might be a spelling also. I'll say through, and if it doesn't understand what I'm saying, it could be THREW or through the wall.
That's right. That's right.
It has to know. And then there are words which are strange to it, and I can go ahead and tell it and command it and have it learn that word or names of people which are strange to it, and then it will get you. Well, it took it a year to spell my name Shiskin right. Now it finally does it.
Okay, but now can you spell to it? Let's say you're saying the name ANITA. Instead of saying ANITA, can you say ANITA? Will it adhere to that?
I haven't gone into it, but what I think it knows that really easy because it's very familiar to it.
Right.
But and I haven't done this, and I think there's a way that you have to say spell and then go I'll have to check in on that.
Right, because if you were writing and there were some foreign words, people, with foreign names, you might have to do that. But in the Golden Treasures, the collection of short stories that you wrote, which was so good, attracted me, it was so just beautiful. Did you have to do the same thing in order to get it? I mean, did you have to go back and back till you got it perfect because a lot of things it didn't understand?
Well, yes. The first thing I did when a friend told me you can edit it yourself, but you have to do it over and over and over. First thing I did, I went online, and there is if anybody wants to learn how to write, go online and say, how can I write? There are 7 or 8 words that you should or not use or use very sparingly. And there's a bunch of those words which are monotonous. and and a lot of them you don't need to say. And they'll tell you, they'll have one is called writing. I don't know. It's something about writing. I can't think of it right now. There's so many of them, but it will list different well-known authors that give you hints on how to describe scenery, how to describe people, and it's really helpful.
That's excellent.
How to and what I've done when I have gone back since I've got over 40 stories written now. Now I'm getting I can almost edit myself while I'm writing it, unless I make a big mistake and just going too fast. But I'm learning how to construct sentences which make more sense, which are shorter, and they have more impact. I just finished a new story which I'd been trying for 8 months to get done. I call it Watchdog, and it's about a Marine who's looking for work, and he sees this ad about being a security supervisor for a big warehouse company that does a lot of shipping of very expensive and security type equipment. And so I finally got that in, and that's a heck of a surprise. I have a good friend who writes too, and he says, "Ted, you did it again, you son of a gun."
That's great. How many words is there in that?
It's 5 pages. It's about 250 a page.
So you're going to make this as part of your next book?
Oh, yeah. And then I've got, of course, did I send you my American Revolutionary story?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you'll like that. It's 37 pages. And when I first started it, I intended to make a novel out of it. And it's going to be just a novella, something short.
Oh, I think you did. Now I'm remembering. It was the novella that you were working on. And so this isn't a story inside your new book. It's within its own book.
It'll be in the last one in my new book.
Oh, it will?
Yeah. Whenever I get it published. I don't know when that's going to be yet. But I haven't talked to you for a while.
Right.
But my wife, Jean, she has been going through a lot of problems.
What's wrong? Oh, really? She was...
Yeah. She's got pleurisy and also emphysema now.
Oh, my.
And
that must be very hard on her because she needs you so much.
Well, yeah.
And you need her because, you have an aide, but you do need her. She oversees everything you do. So is she is she on her feet or she's not in bed?
Yeah, she's on her feet, but she's huffing and puffing. And she's going to see an endocrinologist about her lungs pretty soon, and to try to find out what can be done about that.
Well, you know what's really happening to so many older adults? They're taking care of each other, but then sometimes, they have to take care of themselves. There's not enough energy left. It's you're very fortunate that you have an aide because so many of them are just not doing well, and they do need to get either a friend in. They need relief.
Well, fortunately, I'm Medicaid, and that helps.
Right.
Medicare doesn't give you too much. Give you supplies, but Medicaid helps also.
Well, let's talk about your painting. So I think you said you were going to start painting again. Were you able to start that?
Well, I have stopped now for about probably 2 to 3 months. It's almost useless to paint. It's only for fun, to get my mind off of stuff, and I enjoy doing it.
And you can actually, how do you paint? How are you raising your hands to paint?
Oh, I'm sitting at the kitchen table, painting flat on the table.
I see. Okay. That's excellent.
And my paintings are watercolors. Well, I can do it in acrylics too.
Right.
Or either 9 by 12 or 12 by 16 inches.
And that's very therapeutic. What I was thinking of, what if you painted a picture for each story in your book and put it in the book?
Oh, that would be very, very expensive.
It would, because it's color, and they would have to do it in color.
Well, I have been thinking about doing something for my cover.
Okay.
But you know the cover that I had for...
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Had the coins on it.
Yes.
That was a blue... that was a blue cloth that was laying on. Well, my friend did another photograph, and this is a shiny, very brilliant green, and the coins are on top of that. So if I do this, I'll probably call it Golden Treasures 2, or more Golden Treasures. I don't know. I haven't come up with a name yet.
Uh-huh. Well, it's so good to hear someone who has some challenges, who's just not going to let it get them down. I mean, there are days, I'm sure, which it's hard. And you say, what is this all about? But when I talk to you, I hear that spirit, that indomitable spirit that says, listen, as long as I'm breathing, I can do things. And that's a great lesson for people to know.
Well, I certainly don't want to sound like a deadbeat talking to you and have everybody crying about me. I don't want to project that.
No. And you never do. You never do. So are you, now I know you can't travel much. I mean, I know you have a van, but do you get out at all?
I haven't been out in 3 years since my granddaughter graduated from high school. I have problems. I don't know when I'm going to have a problem with my body, but I'm going to have to look for a restroom.
Right.
And sometimes that comes on very quick.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid to go out.
But your aide can take you outside, can't just to at least to get outside in the sun and and the air.
Well, fortunately, I'm on the south side of the house. I'm in the family room, glass doors. So I get a lot of vitamin D.
Oh yeah, you do. That's good.
And
so
when it gets cooler, one of my friends, Lou, who comes sees me, helps me get out of bed 3 times a week. My brother gets out of bed 2 times a week during the day, and my daughter and her husband get me out of bed at night.
Wow.
And they were gone for 4 days. We had to get other help from church. My church family has been terrific.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really good. And are you friends with anyone else who has the MS like you do, that you can share your feelings and like a little support group?
When I first got started with MS, we went to a support group. I was in a wheelchair, and we went, and all we heard was people's sorrows and complaints. It didn't make me feel good. Mm-hmm. And the doctor that came and told us about the new medication, and I asked him about the only medication that I know of that helps MS is naltrexone, low-dose naltrexone, which is spelled Naltrexone, and it doesn't hurt you. It's 3 to 5 milligrams, and basically it was to help people with HIV, and they found out that it was helping HIV people with 50 milligrams, but it gave too many side effects. So the doctor who was using it had the labs cut it down. There's no side effects. I've been on it for 8 years, and I go to a website which is called Good Shape, and it's about HIV, and it's also about MS. And people talk to themselves on the internet about what they're doing and everything like that.
Great.
And this is the only one that is really helping people. But you can't get anybody to do a big study on it because it's low cost, and the pharmaceuticals won't make any money out of it.
So there's no proof that it does it, or it's just...
Well, there is proof. I think somebody did 3 or 4. All these people writing in. It's like a story I just heard. I have a friend, a doctor, who is curing people of stage 4 cancer. And he had a friend of his, not a friend, but his daughter had a patient who had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And she said there's nothing else she could do. She says, go see my dad. Maybe he can help you. He went to see the doctor. The doctor put him on a diet and all sorts of supplements and vitamins, and he stayed on it. And within about 6 months, I think, well, actually, after 3 or 4 days, he got out of bed and said, I don't want to get up. He said, wait a minute, I feel pretty good. That's dumb, I feel great. I'm getting up. And he went on, and he got cured of cancer. But what happened?
Wow.
After 4 years, it came back because he got off his diet, got off of the vitamins, got off the juices, and he went to a hospital. And they says, well, how'd you get cured the first time? By Dr. So-and-so. Well, why don't you go back to him?
Of course.
My doctor friend says, oh, that made me feel so good. I had an associate finally tell me that I did something. And one of them went to Duke University. And he says, well, you did what? Well, you got cured? What'd you do? Well, a lot of chemotherapy and radiation? Nope, not a bit. So he told him the process. And he says, and where's the proof? He says, here I am. I'm the living proof.
That's
they
right.
They didn't want to hear any more.
Is that right? Well, this medication that you're talking about, that's so good. Do you have something written up about it?
Oh, I will send you a story that the man wrote. It's called Don't Die. He is trying to write a book. He is trying to get funding to get a book written. And I was thinking, and I don't know, maybe even, I'd like to ask, I don't know if you'd want to have the doctor on.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think, why don't you send me what he wrote, and then let's talk about that. That sounds terrific for people who have no other hope, and you all of a sudden now, are you on that medication?
No, I am eating as good as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have cancer.
No, I know, but I was thinking no. But you said it wasn't the cancer. Before that, you had another story about, I thought it was people who had HIV, and then it was helping MS.
Right. Well, I heard about that, and I talked to a doctor in New York, and then I get the naltrexone, and I get it from when those labs or pharmacies, they compound stuff. They make different stuff together to make a different medicine.
Right.
And that's how they make the naltrexone. Well, they sort of break it down from 50 to 3.5 milligrams.
But now, are you taking that?
Naltrexone. I've been taking it for 8 years.
And so
I believe that that's what kept me to a minimum. I mean, I can still move my legs. My right arm has gotten less, but it could get stronger if I could get therapy. And I don't have, and Medicare gives me 2 series of 8 therapy lessons of 1 hour, 16 hours a year. And it's not enough.
No.
And I don't have the money. Therapy is very expensive.
Yes, it is. I know that. And they only allow a certain amount, and so you have to actually find someone that would be willing to just do it for you. I guess that's...
Well, my friend helps me, and he does enough for me 2 or 3 times a week, and then I move my legs, and I'm working on my right arm, but my hand doesn't work at all. And but I've got my left arm, and it's still strong. Without it, I'd be completely useless.
Wow, that is amazing. So it's called MALTRA.
Oh, N is in Nancy.
Oh, wait, NAL.
TREXONE.
Okay. Oh, my goodness.
And you can get it from Skip's Pharmacy in Boca.
That's the one who makes it?
Yeah, that's the one who compounds it, or rather decides it from 50 to 3.5 to 5.
Well, why don't you send me something on that and let me see what comes up out of it. Maybe I'll do a little story or something. But we've just run out of time, Ted, and it's so nice to talk to you. I can't tell you that how wonderful it is, and I hope people will go to Golden Treasures. Now, see, the way that they're going to get your book is to go to, let me just get this right.
Okay, let me just say it. Golden Treasures, author Ted Shiskin.
Okay.
Just search for that on the web.
Okay. Golden Treasures, author Ted Shiskin. Perfect. Okay, Ted, say hello to your wife for me, and thank you so much, and we'll be talking again, okay?
And I'll send you my new little story.
Okay, great. Thank you,
Okay.
Ted.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.